Hi guys, what's going on? It is Scarlet, and I'm here with week 2 of SDA Season 3 Latios Division. So, today we are versing against Mono fighting STANK, coach of the Champaholics. I forget the city name, but the Champaholics, and I decided to bring Garchomp, Goldango, Slowbro, Flamingo, you guys can see them, and Stank decided to bring that team. I was kind of prepared for most of these mons. The only one I wasn't really prepared for was Guts Hariyama, so I was very scared of that, and I believe I just threw out my notes, but I was scared of that. Primeape with Rage Fist was also scary. I was prepped for the main four though, just not Primeape with Rage Fist, and just Primeape in general. Like, I figured it would come, I just didn't prep for it. So yeah, let's just skip ahead. This is just me, like, figuring out notes and writing that all down and all that stuff. So, I decided to lead Chain Chomp. Chain Chomp has spikes, and it's also a special variant just because there's a lot more physical, defensively, physical. Yeah, just regular defense. There's a lot of mons like that, so I figured catch them off guard, especially the Great Tusk. Catching that off guard with a Draco is, I believe, max HP, no SPDF investment is like 88% max, which is, you know, big. That's a big chip. So that was kind of the intentions with that. Next, Goldango. It was kind of my Great Tusk answer. The only move it feared is knockoff because, you know, Air Balloon can't spin, can't close combat, can't Earthquake, really only can like play rough or Ice Spinner for Chain Chomp or anything like that. Slowbro was kind of the meat of this team because, I mean, look at this team. I don't think I need to go in depth with Slowbro. Has special attack investment just so that it's hitting at least decently hard. Has Future Sight, has Psychic, Chilling Water to lower attack, and then Yawn just to, you know, force a switch or anything like that. Flamingo, Choice Scarf outspeeds everything. The only thing that it really gets threatened by is Lucario. And it's just pretty typical Terra Flying to get more power and, you know, all that. In hindsight, probably Terra Ghost might have been better, but, you know, getting a little ahead of myself. Next we have Talonflame, which, again, I think that's pretty understandable. Defensive variant with Flame Body. To hit any, like, you know, close combats or any punch moves, Rage Fists, you know, bullet punches, extreme speed, anything you name it pretty much can at least attempt to hit. So, I like that. And then Chi, which kind of seems like a weird pick. At first I had Clawitzer, which transaction led it to be a Terra Captain now, and then it was going to be Terra Ghost choice specs to kind of revenge on Lucario. It could just click Aura Spear, or it could click Water Pulse and just pick up a KO, and, you know, great. But I decided to go with Chiyu. Just I felt like I needed more speed. I felt like if Flamingo kind of goes down, I don't really have that speed option. It can kind of just click Psychic for free, so I figured that would probably be for the best. And yeah, that's my team. So I'm gonna lock it in. Great, perfect. I wish I could like speed this up because it can kind of get a little slow, but yeah. So he's gonna lead with Show. We're not gonna show. Okay, Primeape. There he is. And I was very scared of Rage Fist. I was also very scared of Ice Punch. But kind of by showing it as lead, I was kind of like, okay, rocks. But still, Ice Punch is very scary. Especially since I like to do that, like have a mon that has a 4x move, just be able to click it. So I decided to make the double just in case of that, and I don't want to attack it for Rage Fist. So those were my two things. And that's why I make the switch. I think in hindsight, I probably think Earthquake or Draco is just better, or Earth Power or Draco is just better here. I think I had Aerialist. Even that is a better option because it's just hitting. Like, To me, it just makes more sense to go for it, especially with the move he clicked. An Earth Power here would have been really good, but yeah, that's just how it is sometimes. So it's gonna go for Encore, which, you know, very interesting. From this position, this is just a free Future Sight here. I could go Psychic, but I think Future Sight's just my best play. It hits literally everything. There is no switch in besides Lucario. So yeah, he's gonna make a double. I don't necessarily agree with that double, just because I feel like Annihilape's kind of served its purpose. But Great Tusk comes in. It pretty much has just a free knock here. Could also Earthquake. It could also be physically defensive or something. I don't see why Great Tusk would come in on Slowbro, but you know, he doesn't know if I'm Choice Specs or not. So I don't understand that play. But I guess, you know, it's the only one you have. I go Gholdengo, like I said. It's the Great Tusk answer, so it makes the most sense to me. The only move I'm afraid of, again, is Knockoff. So obviously that's the move he clicks, which is going to do a shit ton. And from here, I kind of have to play this as a more defensive. I know the damage suggests otherwise, probably. I was not using calcs for most of this match, so I just kind of have to assume that it was, you know, not offensive or not as speedy and maybe more defensive or something. So I just click recover here on the whims that maybe a double comes out or something, but it is just gonna KO. So this is actually a decent trade though, because Future Sight's gonna land and it always KOs, like Assault Vest or not, which this end up after we both shared teams, and he ended up having this as an Assault Vestmon, and I will be going off about that later. But for now, I could just bring in Slowbro here. I could have also just easily brought in Talonflame here, just because a free Willow goes a long way. But I decided Slowbro is kind of like the best play overall, especially if something like Valiant comes out. Oh man, if that thing comes out on Talonflame and gets like a free Thunderbolt, because I mean, he doesn't have any special mons besides Valiant and Lucario. So in my head, I'm thinking, you know, Valiant has to be the special mon. I think E-Speed rocks my team for the most part, so I don't even know. I thought this was going to be special Lucario too, but I thought for sure special Valiant was coming. So with that, I mean, Slowbro gets a free Psychic here. Slowbro gets another KO. No matter what, it's clicking Psychic, or it could have just clicked Future Sight. Either or it works. I think in hindsight, I probably would have rather Future Sight than Psychic, just because I kind of know, well, now that I know a knock's coming off. But even if I didn't, I feel like, I don't know. I think it's just hindsight right now, but I like Psychic here. I like Psychic coming off. No matter what, it just picks up a KO unless Lucario hard switches, but it doesn't. And it's going to take a ton from Rocky Helmet Chip. So, yeah. Slowbro, just gonna, you know, do Slowbro things. Crit, it did not matter. Of course, I did not realize it crit there, but, yeah. So, from here, it's pretty obvious you go into Iron Hands here, just because, you know, it's electric type beats water type. So I feel like that's a pretty easy play to make, and I'm just gonna speed it up because, you know, I just literally gave away what he did. So Iron Hands comes out, takes, oh my god, takes the spikes, whatever. I can yawn here. I don't decide to switch because I feel like that's a pretty easy prediction to make, is Garchomp double. So I decide to go like the cooler play, which is yawn, but yeah, it's gonna take it. Unfortunately, no Rocky Helmet. It would have done a pretty good amount with Rocky Helmet, but you know, that's besides the point. From here, I mean, Chomp's pretty free, because if he wants to Thunder Punch and stay in, or if he wants to play rough, both of those plays are completely fine with me. So Chomp's pretty free. I mean, maybe he could go like back to Primate, but I don't really see that. Maybe hard Lucario. Instead, he goes into Honda, which is the Hariyama. And I think in hindsight, I think Psychic is 100% the play I should have made, or Future Sight should have 110% been the play I made, but can't really go back and change that, can I? So yeah, Chomp, gonna get some recovery. Sorry. I'm really bad at, you know, maintaining the voice, but that's besides the point. Earth Power, not gonna do a lot, because as you can tell, it is Assault Vest. So my special Chomp literally means nothing against a team with, you know, now of 2 Assault Vest users. So, you know, that's fun. That's really fun. But yeah, I could have clicked Ace there. Ace probably does more, but how am I supposed to know that it's not Guts or anything like that? Flamigo's pretty free. I think in hindsight, I don't think Terra was necessary, and I don't even think, I think I could have just close combated, or if I was going to Terra, just Terra Blast straight up, because I'm going to take a lot of chip from this, and I can't really switch in again, just because if I'm on, like, you know, like Lucario, so I can't really afford to make that play. From here, I'm just kind of stuck in a really bad place, because Lucario is kind of breathing down my neck, especially if it's like E-Speed or something. E-Speed should probably not have came to this match, but I'm kind of giving away that it definitely did come to this match. So I kind of have to be wary of that, and that's pretty common set, so I already am wary of that, but I don't have a switch in at this point, and I'm very, very aware of that this isn't, I don't have a switch in, so at this point, I'm just kind of in a scenario where I have to sack Flamigo. So, even if this KOs, or even if this doesn't KO, my play is always Brave Bird here. Unless, obviously, I Terra Blasted, then it's Terra Blast. But I'm forced to make that play in case, first off, a choke where, you know, they just don't set up. Or they set up so that I obviously KO. Or, in case this clicks E-Speed and I don't have a switch in. Because, this thing does a lot, even without, like, a Swords Dance. But as we find out with this, it's at the very least adamant. We don't know if it's choice band, but from the records and from us talking after the match, or briefly talking after the match, this is indeed a choice band. So I don't have a clean switch in. So at this point, I can bring in Talonflame, which, you know, can fire off a Wisp here, or get a Flame Body Burn from an E-Speed possibly coming out again. I decided to just Willow straight up. I don't need to like think about this play at all. It's, you know, pretty second-hand nature, whatever. Switch happens probably into Iron Hands, of course, which does come out. So Iron Hands, hi. Spike's gonna take it, but it's not really gonna do much. Missed the fucking Willow, which, you know, great. That's great. So I pretty much only have 2 opportunities now, because if I land the Willow here, there's like barely a chance I survive. Alexa Fake Out, guess what? Don't get the burn there either. So now I'm kind of fucked. I either Roost here and hope for a burn, or I go for Willow and hit an 85% accurate move. What ends up happening, you might be wondering to yourself. I miss, which, you know, on brand. That miss, any of those misses matter, and no Flame Body Burn here. All of those misses matter because one of those lands, and I can permanently wall it. Permanently wall Iron Hands. And Slowbro can kind of come in, get some regenerator, get back out. You know, I can swap between them. I have flexibility. I don't have that now anymore. So I'm forced to go into Slowbro knowing damn well it's going to get killed. Because, you know, maybe I can get some chip, maybe I don't know though. And it outspeeds. you know, just pray that it's negative nature or something. So now I have to go Chiyu, and Chiyu, believe it or not, is not going to be able to KO this Iron Hands with a fucking Choice Scarf Modest Psychic. Would you like to know why cannot do that? It's because my opponent ran 3 Assault Vests in a match. Which, I mean, obviously on this team I ran 2 Scarves, right? But you will never, ever catch a very talented or a decent player in Draft League running 3 of the same items on 3 different mons. Because to me, that shows a lack of creativity. To me, that shows a real lack of prep, to be honest. That you're kind of going a lazy route. And it's just a weird thing to do, especially in Draft League. Also ran 2 sashes. I'm not too mad about that. I don't really care about. Two of the same item I'm completely fine with. Anything more than 2 to me is a bit excessive, and it's kinda dumb. Like, I get it for mono fighting, especially that, you know, you have to run. You're kind of fucked. But like, it's just, to me, it's a lack of creativity, especially when a set like my Garchomp set would have ran through his team if he did not bring 3 Assault Vests on 3 mons that happen to have a low special defense, which I don't get why you run 3 Assault Vests. I get 3 leftovers. I completely understand that, but you shouldn't be scared of Chiyu at all. You have mono fighting against Chiyu, so you shouldn't be scared of that. I don't know what the incentive is to run 3 Assault Vests, especially when you don't know if Chomp's coming, physical or special. You can't predict that. You can't look me in the eye and say special Chomp is coming this match. You just can't. You just can't do that. So maybe it was the hardest read of his life, but I just don't disagree. I don't agree with that play, and I don't agree with ever running 3 of the same exact item. And the only case I kind of understand is leftovers, but even then I lose respect for that. So I already don't like that. Then obviously I'm playing with emotions because, I mean, 2 fucking wisps miss, no contact burn. The odds of that are, I don't even know, and I'm frankly not willing to look them up. So you already have that. You already have all of that playing, which, you know, I'm kind of using it as an excuse, but I'm just trying to give you context as to why I kind of blew up after this game, because it's, especially after arguably playing one of the most fun matchups in my life, literally just 2 or 3 hours ago, with like special Brute Bonnet and 3 mons carrying Sunny Day, and all of this fun shenanigans, physical Salazzle, all this fun shit, and I get a 3-0 win. Great, happy. I'm feeling awesome. And then I have to play 3 Assault Vests, mono fighting, and then I lose. Because, arguably because of Will-O-Wisp miss, but also because of just bad play, and not the best prep. It hits. It hits pretty hard. And I don't disagree with one of my statements that were, I lost the freest win, or like, of course I'd lose a free win, or something along the lines of that. I don't disagree with that. I just didn't say it in the best way. I didn't say it constructively at all. And I try to say GG after every match, because first off, I feel like every coach deserves a GG. You deserve it. And every coach deserves a good luck, have fun. Both of those to me are mandatory. Unless, especially in the last case, there is a ton of hacks in the match. There's just some weird shenanigans going on before the match even starts, or after the match starts, or maybe there's bad blood, or maybe two people hate each other. I just think generally it is mandatory that you say good luck, have fun, and you do all that. And I said good luck, have fun at the beginning. I did not say GG at the end, because you're gonna... I mean, eventually I said it just because, you know, emotions, and that's, you know, obviously a thing, but it was just a weird match to me. It was just very weird. And yeah, I mean, 0-2, -4, not the worst way to start off a season, definitely not the best. And now I'm definitely on the back end of the season instead of being able to have a cushion, but I think I generally play better like that in the last couple of seasons where I've started out 0-1 or 0-2. I usually make the playoffs just because I feel like there is a huge incentive to wanting to win and to get back. So I think I'm still going to make playoffs, and I definitely still do think I'm a top team. It's just bad loss, and these are games I usually do lose. This one just felt different, and I nearly cried after the match. I'll fucking admit that. I'm very willing to admit that. I nearly cried, just because I was just so upset with how the match went, and my overall prep, which I thought I did a decent job, but clearly my play wasn't there, and I just, yeah. So, with that all being said, like I said, 0-2, -4. Not the worst way to start off the season. I hope STANK has a great rest of the season, and I genuinely do hope we play again, just so I can fucking kick your ass. But yeah, and same to Brad, but I just want a good game. Like, we both play each other very well, so I hope I play Brad in the future. And I didn't have commentary for that match, so I'm just saying that now. But yeah, and then transactions, I already talked about the first one. Clawitzer is now a Terra Captain. But the second transaction, or I guess my second and third transaction, were Komala and Blissey. Two normal types, Rapid Spin for one of them, Rocks for the other. Both very good SPDF tanks. Blissey is like widely known as one of the best tanks of all time, but at least with Blissey, it's very passive of a mon, and it just didn't fit the way I play. Komala, I could have brought it to a match. Not to this one for sure, but I just felt like I could upgrade, which is why I decided to trade those two for Fortress and Knuckle. Both of those mons force prep, which Blissey and Komala don't really do the best. Komala kind of, but not really. So I figured that would be a good transaction, so I did that. They both add more hazards, which was a complaint of my team, and I definitely did agree with, so I want to address that. And they force prep. I think I already said that, but that is by far the most important thing, is that both of these mon force prep for a team. So that's why I'm making the transaction. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Have a great one, and I'll see you later. Peace. This is kind of awkward, but see ya.